Welcome to JWL Sports, where we review all the best sports clips from around the world. If this is your first time checking out a video, please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. Without further ado, let's get to it. We're watching a clip of The Herd with Colin Cowherd talking about Kirk Cousins. And, he signed a relatively big deal relative to what maybe someone would think that a Kirk Cousins can get, especially coming off of an Achilles injury, and just in general for what Kirk Cousins has done in his career, lifetime. And it's so interesting to me because he has been nothing but a great quarterback. And I mean that as truly great. He's not elite. He's not amazing. He's not next level, okay? But he is a great quarterback. He is one of the most consistent quarterbacks we have seen in years in the NFL. Years. Okay, he might not be able to win you every single game, although he definitely can, but he's not losing you these games all the time either. Every single player can lose a game for their team, even Patrick Mahomes, even Tom Brady, but we have quarterbacks who do it frequently, or we have quarterbacks that can't win their team a game. Kirk Cousins is so consistently good, that's what makes him great. Okay, you just know that he can do what needs to be done. You just know that he doesn't have these glaring weaknesses where you're just like, man, all we have to do this to Kirk and it's just done. Boom, no chance. He has a chance. He can do things. There's other quarterbacks in the NFL where, let's say we were able to just transport them to like an NFC or AFC championship game or Super Bowl. You would genuinely be like, I have no idea how this player is going to play. How is this quarterback going to play? My God, is it going to be a disaster? Do we have any chance? What is actually going on? But Kirk, you are going to get a good shot. And Kirk has not had great teams or great coaching over the years. Many of his seasons that were not amazing or elite were done by coaches who are literally not even in the NFL anymore. Not even in the NFL. And when we compare that to the other greats, like the Patrick Mahomes, like the Tom Brady's, they've had consistent coaches, consistent elite coaches, and consistently elite great players. Whether it be Gronk, whether it be Kelsey, whether it be Andy Reid, Belichick, Tyreek Hill, whatever. They consistently have great elite weapons. That has not been Kirk Cousins' past, okay? Yes, he's got Jefferson, but he's only had it for a short period of time. As he's new in the league, it takes a minute. And they've had amazing success. So it's just one of those things where Kirk Cousins, if you put him with a Shanahan or a Sean McVay or an Andy Reid, and you give him some actual vital weapons like a Kelsey, like Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp and OBJ, you actually build a team around him that can succeed, he will succeed. He is a Super Bowl winning capable player, and I truly believe that. And that's why he consistently gets money and respect, and teams consistently want him. So let's take a listen to see what Colin has to say, and we can go from there.
Now everybody today. Talk about a ceiling. Do you know the number one selling ice cream in America? It's not
Chocolate.
Cookie dough. It's not bubble gum. It's not Rocky Road. It's vanilla.
Ah, darn.
For the umpteenth straight year. You can have it with pie, espresso, solo, in a cup, in a sundae. It works. I know, but if you order it, if you ever go out with anybody, 3 or 4 people, you get vanilla. Everybody turns to you and goes, so boring, vanilla. Yesterday, I had a vanilla latte, not a cookie dough latte, not a brownie madness latte. I had a vanilla latte. It was fantastic. Kirk Cousins is like you go to Europe, and on the 4th or 5th day, you just order McDonald's because it's familiar. It tastes great. The bottom line is,
Wow. Talk about knowing your audience. How many of you guys just casually go to Europe for, 4 or 5 days and then just go get McDonald's? I would love to know. Let me know in the comments below how many of you just casually just take trips around Europe.
Point, you know what you're getting with Kirk Cousins? A committed adult, low turnovers, high accuracy, doesn't miss many starts, teammates like him, so do coaches, virtually egoless. And he's much more productive than everybody thinks. Did you know since he is signed with the Vikings, I think you'll be surprised by this. 2018, since he signed with the Vikings, J-Mac, third in passing touchdowns, again, with a couple of shaky O-lines. And at one point, Mike Zimmer, defensive coach, third in passing touchdowns and tied for third in passer ratings. And you all wanted Justin Fields? We're not sure he can play the position. Yes, he's boring, but you know what you get, and it's much better than you think. And it works well with tight ends, running backs, decent O-lines, and wide receivers. Everybody thinks they can do a whole lot better than Kirk Cousins. And yet the Chicago Bears, with a history over 100 years, have never once had a quarterback as good as Kirk Cousins. Look it up. No, they haven't.
Insane. It's insane.
Bears, not once. The NFL is the only business in America that always, every year, has a labor shortage. There's about 7 to 8 teams every year that need a highly functioning quarterback. And that's exactly why Kirk Cousins keeps getting paid. Because he's probably like a Dak Prescott in that 11th, 12th, 13th best quarterback in the league. Dak's making a lot of money. Kirk Cousins making a lot of money. They're monetizing their position, and they're both about, statistically, the exact same player. Kirk's more accurate. Dak's more mobile. And Dak's got the star on the side of the helmet. You can say it's boring. You can say he's vanilla. You always get laughed at when you choose it when you go out with friends for ice cream. But consider this. The Washington Commanders, since Kirk Cousins left, have the 27th best win percentage in the NFL. Well, it's not Kirk. And the Vikings have made the playoffs several times. And Kirk Cousins against Aaron Rodgers and what we view as the superior organization and the superior quarterback. Every 2 times they played, Kirk beat Aaron once. Call it boring. I call it productive, dependable, committed, an adult. Yeah, he's not carrying a trophy home. Very few people not named Patrick Mahomes are carrying a trophy home. Lamar can't win back-to-back playoff games, and we love him. Josh Allen can't get to a Super Bowl. Kirk Cousins wins. He's efficient, productive. If you love Dak, you can't tell me Kirk Cousins can't play. Their statistics are identical. I don't love either. I like both. They're grown-ups, good at the podium, win games. And Minnesota said, hey, we like you too. We don't like you 45 large a year. I mean, Dak's going to make 55 large a year. But for Atlanta and this team and these kids in that division, he's got tremendous, tremendous value.
Yeah, I agree. And he's such a perfect quarterback where if you do have a young team and a new coach, it's a home run. It's a great hire. It's a great signing because, you know, again, unless you're going to be able to get, say, a Josh Allen or, right, obviously some other elite quarterback, which obviously is unlikely, this is as good as it gets. Because if you got a Baker Mayfield, massive risk. If you got a Justin Fields, an even more massive risk. So in this way, you know you're getting a grown-up in the room. You're getting maturity. You're getting stability. You're getting non-controversial. You know he's good at the mic. You know he says all the right things. He's loved in the locker room. He's respected. His track record speaks volumes. It's just a great hire. And you know as a coach, you can rely on him. You know you can lean on him to do the things that need to be done. You don't have to worry about him. And that is a huge luxury when you're a new coach and a new team, a newish team with younger players. It's just a great luxury to have. And that's why when we see some of these younger teams with maybe newer coaches, things get ugly quickly. We saw that with Baker Mayfield in Cleveland, okay? It was a younger team with not necessarily proven coaches. And Baker Mayfield wasn't able to, be a stabilizing factor in that. I'm not putting all the blame on Baker, but if it was Kirk Cousins, it would be different energy. Same thing with what happened to Kyler Murray, honestly, and the Arizona Cardinals. They have a newer, younger coach with newer, younger players. Kyler Murray's not the most mature person there, and it just crumbled, and that's what you do not get with Kirk Cousins. You get the opposite of that. You get the grown-up. You get the stabilization. And for the Falcons, that's huge right now. And you can win. They can get into the playoffs. They can make moves. They can probably even win a playoff game. I mean, really, who knows how this season can unfold? I'm not betting on them making it to the NFC Championship game here. But if Kirk Cousins makes a full recovery and their coaching staff that they got, their new arsenal of coaches that they brought in end up being actually legit and competent and know what they're doing, which, we'll find out. They absolutely can make noise. They can absolutely be competitive. They can absolutely be fighting for like an NFC Championship game. Again, as long as Kirk Cousins definitely makes a full recovery, which I'm under the impression he will. I'm under the impression that these days, these Achilles surgeries and the recovery is just so different than what it once was. And so we go through this lens of like, well, Achilles. It's different now. And as someone who's had a lot of injuries over the years and had different types of surgeries over the years, these things matter significantly. But my last point that I want to make is that it is so fascinating to see Kirk get kind of hate or not seen as special when the reality is if you were dating someone, okay, once you finally reach a point of maturity when you're dating someone, or you're just dating in general and you're looking for a girlfriend or a boyfriend, a partner, husband, wife, whatever, you realize that it's not about all the magic. It's not about the highest highs. It's not about the butterflies in the stomach, the fireworks, the wild and crazy, like it's none of that. You actually, at the end of the day, know that you want someone who you can depend on, someone who makes you feel calm and relaxed and chill and loved and wanted. You want someone who, sure, traveling the world and going to Europe and eating McDonald's apparently is all fun and exciting, but finding someone who you can just sit on the couch with and watch TV and actually enjoy their company is way more important than virtually anything else. Anything else. Because at the end of the day, that's what the majority of life is sitting on the couch and just hanging out. That's what life is. Unless you guys are all super wealthy and living that private jet life. That's not me. So that's what Kirk Cousins is. Kirk Cousins is that quarterback who you just know you can trust. He's not giving you anxiety going into the next game or going into, the practice week or the off season or preseason. Like, you just know, all right, we know we got this position. We know what we're going to get. We're going to get consistency. We're going to get high levels of play. Great. We know that. Now we don't have to obsess and focus on our energy on that. If Brock Purdy can lead a great team to a Super Bowl, better believe Kirk Cousins can too. Better believe it. So having Kirk Cousins is such a luxury. And, I understand you want to get seduced by the Justin Fields of the world because, that's equivalent to a girl or a guy in the distance who you're like, oh my God, they're so beautiful. They're this, like, look what they can do. And I hung out with them this one day and oh my God, it was so crazy. The things that they were talking about, the things that we did, it was so exciting. But a lot of times those relationships don't end up, they're not there for the long haul. They either end up being one night stands, breakups, or divorces. You just never know. But with Kirk, he's Mr. Dependable. He's the one you sit on the couch and watch TV with. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. Do you think this was a good deal for the Falcons? Do you think Kirk Cousins is worth the money? Do you think people should, take a chance on Kirk? Or do you think they should be taking a chance on Justin Fields? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So if you think what I'm saying is either the most amazing thing or the worst thing you've ever heard, let me know. Either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get into some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really, really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.